Hello everybody, it's me Smilo here and it's me Wooly, and today we want to introduce a new friend of ours. Hi everyone, my name is Magnus and I am a prehistoric megabeast known as the Columbian Mammoth, and I come from none other than the Brea tar pits. Yep, we got him at the museum gift shop and took him around the museum to look at some of his own exhibits. If you guys want to take a closer look at Magnus, go right ahead. So as you guys can see, my body is entirely gray in color. I want to come a little closer so you can see my large head right here with my dark eyes and my small ears right here. You can see the patch of fur that I have on my bulky head come all the way to down here where you can see my very long trunk right here, as well as my magnificently long and curved tusks right here. Yeah, you can see my mouth right here, as well as the sheer mass of my body right here. I also have a patch of fur on my arched shoulders right here. And you can see my very large, powerful legs with my large feet right here. You can see the toe columns, as well as my small tail right here with a tuft of fur at the end of it. So yeah, there was absolutely nothing small about these mighty mammoths. The Columbian mammoth may look like its modern elephant relatives, but this creature was no ordinary pachyderm. It was among some of the largest mammoth species and came equipped with the longest curved tusks that have ever been discovered. Columbian mammoths were massive megabeasts, standing at about 13 to nearly 14 feet tall at the shoulder and weighing more than 10 tons, a size far greater than that of today's African elephants, which are about 3 feet shorter and 4 tons lighter. And although it wasn't the largest elephant to ever exist, it was still the largest land mammal to ever roam the Americas. The Columbian mammoth had naked skin with small tufts of hair in a few areas, much like modern-day elephants do, the Asian elephant being its closest living relative. This creature lived south of the Arctic Circle, as far down as Mexico, so it didn't need thick fur like its slightly smaller cousins, the woolly mammoths, which inhabited the entire northern hemisphere. During the late Pleistocene, Columbian mammoths roamed the grasslands of North America in large herds, with a dominant female known as the matriarch taking the leading role. The males were forced to roam on their own when they were teenagers. The most outstanding feature of the Columbian mammoth was its long curved tusks, growing up to lengths of 13 to nearly 16 feet, weighing about 200 pounds each. These are still some of the longest tusks that have ever been found on any elephant, past or present. The mammoths used them mostly to loosen the roots of large shrubs in the soil so they could pluck their food from the ground with their trunks. Plus, their tusks were good weapons. The beasts could swing their heads to knock any large predators away. These mammoths munched up to 600 to nearly 700 pounds of vegetation every day. The mammoth had only 4 teeth, but each were about the size of a shoe. Columbian mammoths are the largest creatures scientists have found at the Brea tar pits, an active dig site that has the largest collection of Ice Age fossils in the world. We invited Marlowe the woolly mammoth and Memphis the American mastodon because these two prehistoric proboscideans also inhabited North America during the last Ice Age, and their differences are quite obvious. So we have our two mammoth species right here. Columbian mammoths living further down in the south where temperatures were warmer were not nearly as shaggy as their slightly smaller woolly mammoth cousins, which inhabited the entire northern hemisphere, much closer to the ice sheets. And their thick, shaggy fur coats sure kept them warm in the frigid temperatures. And they both had their very long, curved tusks right here. As for mastodons, they lived alongside the Columbian mammoths further down in the south. And although they may look very similar, there are significant differences between mammoths and mastodons. Mammoths stood much taller, with bulkier heads and more arched shoulders, and much longer, more curved tusks, whereas mastodons stood a bit shorter than mammoths, with less arched shoulders and more flat, sloped heads and much smaller tusks. But the main difference is within their teeth. Mastodons had conical, bumpy teeth for grinding stuff like leaves and twigs, whereas mammoths had flat teeth for grazing grass. We lined them all up just to show you their size differences, which is pretty darn accurate for a bunch of plush animals. So we come over here to the American mastodon, which stood about 9 to 10 feet tall at the shoulder. Then we're here to the woolly mammoth, which stood about 11 feet tall at the shoulder. And then the biggest of them all, the Columbian mammoth, which stood about 13 to maybe even 14 feet tall at the shoulder. Yeah, like we said, there's nothing small about these prehistoric proboscideans, and as many of you might know, we have plenty of first-hand experiences observing the sheer size of these massive giants. We have seen plenty of mammoth fossil fragments at smaller, lesser-known museums, but we have also seen plenty of full skeletal exhibits, such as this one at the New Mexico Museum of Natural History and Science, which is actually one of the smallest Columbian mammoths we've ever seen. We also saw this Columbian mammoth at the Arizona Museum of Natural History, which actually was a bit larger, but some of the largest Columbian mammoths that we have ever seen was on our most most recent trip to the La Brea tar pits. This skeletal Columbian mammoth exhibit is by far one of the largest that we have ever seen. But as big as they might be, you will never be able to truly grasp the sheer size of these massive giants simply by looking at a bag of bones. Seeing one in the flesh might make it much easier to comprehend, but no photo or video will ever do them justice. You'll have to be there in person just to see how enormous they really are. The La Brea tar pits is truly one of the most incredible places that we have ever got to visit. No words could ever do this place justice, and we were surrounded by so many magnificent mega beasts. So please feel free to check out the video. We'll leave a link in the description for the museum tour, as well as our Ice Age saber-tooth encounter. So yeah folks, this is our new friend Magnus the Columbian Mammoth, who came from the La Brea tar pits. We just wanted to take this time to introduce him, but that's it for now folks. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like, share content, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you guys later.